So racism is part of my life. It's part of my bloodline since my great-grandparents. Never did I think that I would ever experience the same thing, but I have. So let me tell you about my story when I was in the 7th grade. To have to tell this story, it brings a lot of emotions, and I'm not used to feeling, because part of my experience as a multicultural woman, it's almost expected to have to go through this, but to actually talk about it brings up the anger and the emotion of those moments. And so that's what makes this really difficult for me to share with you. When I was in middle school, I was bused from my neighborhood in Northeast Portland because the school system was trying to desegregate the schools in our neighborhood. It was a law that was passed, and therefore Black kids in the low-income neighborhoods were being bused out to so-called help the gentrification that was affecting our community. I was pulled out of what I knew was home, from my neighbors, from all of the friends that I grew up with, and there was about 15 or 20 of us that was bused to the hills. I was going to school every day. I'd ride the bus for almost an hour, and you could tell that it was significantly different from where I was from. And the closer and closer I got to the school, I just knew that I needed to pull myself together, because I knew I was going to experience being treated differently. Every day for 3 years, I was bullied. I was talked about. And I carried the weight of that all of my life. One day in math class in the 7th grade, I took a math test, me and the 5 Black kids in a room full of almost 30 white kids. And the teacher started to pass these assignments back to us. And before she passed these assignments back to us, she stopped in the middle of the room and she looked around and she said, "Well, class, there are a few students in here that I didn't know would actually do very well because of the area that they come from." And as she said that, she starts passing the test back, and she handed one to me and she said, "Didn't expect that from you." To the other Black kid, "Didn't expect that from you." To the last kid who was Black, "I didn't expect that from you." And I didn't know how mean or how embarrassing that I could ever feel in front of my peers. And she made me feel super stupid. Even though I passed that test, I felt extremely stupid. Little did she know that before I came to class, in the bathroom, I was slammed against the wall and I was told to go back to Africa. Then I go into class and I get the same beating from an adult, a white adult. You just don't do that to little kids. That was a trajectory to how I viewed myself academically. And to this day, I second guess everything that I do when it comes to math. Little did I know that today my career would be dealing with finances and math. It's funny how God did that. Who inspires me from Black history is my father, Mr. W.B. Davis. My father was one of the first Black boys to enter into a school when the desegregation laws were passed through the Board of Education versus Brown. He and his brother had to go to his neighborhood school in junior high, and every day he endured so much. He had so much courage and so much strength as he walked to the school, knowing that he was going to get beat up every day. But he knew if he could just step foot in that school, he would do so much great honor to those in the future. If it wasn't for his courage and his strength, Black students today would not be able to go to school. He was part of that history.
What a powerful story we just heard. As a church, we're on a journey together. There's some of us that are in need of healing. We've been hurt. There's some of us that need to grow and need to learn more. And so we've created this resource, mannahouse.church/justice. Check that out. It's a great resource for you to learn, grow, hear some more of these stories, and we're excited to walk alongside you in your journey.